Hello, welcome. It's Phil in the Digital DJ Tips studio with another Tuesday Tips Live. In fact, this is the final Tuesday Tips Live until September. We are taking our summer break, and that means fun and games in the sunshine. And today's Tuesday Tips Live is all about what I've got in my DJ bag. What's in this bag here, which will let me go live wherever I go in the whole world. We'll be in Europe. With this unit here. So I'm going to talk you through everything. I'm going to be DJing 4 of my Balcony Beats live streams that I've been doing for well over a year now, from out and about, middle of nowhere, out in the sticks, battery, portable, climbing up mountains, that kind of thing. And so in order to do that, I need to have a rock solid system. And I've been testing it over the past few months, as anyone who's tuned into any of the live streams that I've done away from our HQ has realised, and we're now kind of ready to give it a proper go. So in this broadcast, I'll talk you through the gear I've got here, I'll talk you through why I've chosen everything in this bag and here. And you can ask questions about it, and we'll get to them afterwards. If you're just joining us, you don't know what this is, we're Digital DJ Tips, the biggest online DJ school in the world, and the people behind Rock the Dancefloor, the best-selling book on Amazon on how to DJ. And our job is to help you become better DJs and better DJ producers. We do it through our website, YouTube channel, Facebook, where you might be watching this now, but also through our DJ courses, of course. We have 25 DJ courses with names like Laidback Luke and DJ Angelo and James Hype and many more. And that's our mission in life. However, these live shows on a Tuesday and Thursday at this time are basically free. They're free to air and they're free for us to help you. And we do like you to chat to us, so do use the chat. And that's how it works, really. So I think we should get started, shouldn't we? Let's start by talking you through, we'll talk about the DJ controller first, or the DJ system first. And then once we've got that out of the way, we'll start unpacking the bag. Does that sound like a good idea? So again, this is designed so that I can go and live stream from anywhere that I can get a 4G signal. And that's on a router. I haven't got the router with me now. It's a Nighthawk M1 router from Netgear. Just one of those little things about that big, about as big as my hand. Very good router. And that is all I need, along with fully charged battery on everything I'm about to show you. So for instance, the controller itself, it's got this nice acrylic case from Decksavers, very, very important to cover up all the controls, but also because I don't carry this in a separate case. This goes in the transport we're using, just in a cupboard. So, you know, very useful to have that. The Denon Prime Go, I use this because it's powerful. It doesn't need a laptop. There's no laptop with me. I don't want to take a laptop with me. It's powerful. It doesn't need a laptop. All my music is on a little SD card tucked into the front of it. And it's a very pro piece of gear. I do enjoy DJing on it. So this is the gear that goes with me. So this is what we're going to be plugging into everything you see in this box here, in this bag here. So I'm going to take that out of the picture now so we can move the bag a little bit more center stage. And we're going to start unpacking this bag now. And I will talk to you about absolutely everything I've got in here. This is not the only way to live stream, not by any means, but it's how I'm doing it right now. And of course, this changes all the time. A year ago, I was doing it differently. I'll probably be doing it differently a year from now, and that's all good. Right, okay, let's start off by unzipping them. Well, let's talk about the bag itself first. It's by a company, they're called Gate something. They're an aircraft company that make bags for airplanes. And I'm not sure, without checking, there is a label on it somewhere. It's called Lane 8 or Gate 8 or something. But I can't see, obviously, when I try and look for it. It's not obvious where the label is. But what I like about this bag is it's that kind of aircraft size, but it's small enough to push under a seat. Not that I'm carrying it on planes anytime soon, but I do like this little bag. So that's the bag I'm using. Right, let's begin then. Let's unzip the top part. I mean, really, you want all compartments. You want lots and lots of compartments when you're getting organized like this. Don't think you can have too many, to be honest. So let's unzip this and have a look at what we've got in here. So this is the main compartment of the bag, and the first thing I've got is the power supply for the Denon Prime Go. That can charge the battery in the Prime Go, and then you get several hours out of the Prime Go, which is really good. So that just gets charged up as needed. My headphones come in a nice solid case to keep them safe. These are the Sony, I think they're called the 1000 Mark IVs, WD 1000 Mark IV or something. These are quite an interesting headphone because they are a wireless headphone. which is nice and isolating. Even without the wireless on, that's really nicely isolated. But they also work with, and noise cancelling of course as well, but they also come with a cable. And the cable is what I use them for DJing. And if they go flat, they just work like normal headphones, because some headphones won't do that, right? The batteries go flat and you can't really use them. So this is the kind of like the best thing I've found for an all-rounder headphone, to be honest. The only thing I don't like about it is the lead's not particularly good. I'd like to try and get a replacement lead that's coiled. But as an all-round headphone, because of course when you're on the road, you're auditioning tunes as well, you're listening to music a lot. And I like to have a real cocoon, so I need noise cancelling. So I use these for listening wirelessly, just Spotify on my phone or whatever. I use them with the wire, with noise cancelling on when I'm auditioning and practicing my set. And then the noise cancelling goes off for when I'm DJing, and I just use them in the kind of passive mode like you would use any DJ headphones. So I like those a lot. Had those for a year or so now. Right, exciting. Now let's move on to talk about the speakers. So I've upgraded the speaker setup this time. Now some of you will know that I'm a big fan of these speakers by a company called Minirig. Minirig speakers are a lovely boutique company that make these awesome little speakers. They're solid metal, charging cable there. They're a solid metal speaker, Bluetooth, but also you can wire them in. And they sound great. You know, one of these, I've been doing live streams quite happily with one of these, but I said I've upgraded. So what I've done is get a second one, and they will wire together. So there's no Bluetooth going on here. And here's the exciting bit, a bass speaker. This is a subwoofer. And what you do is you get these three all wired together with supplied cables, and then you also have a wire going from your DJ gear to one of these, and then they'll share the audio between them. And it sounds absolutely awesome. It really does. You can hide them in and around your system so they're not really showing, and they just sound great. So I'm very excited to use these properly on the road. So that's a Minirig 2.1 system, and that is available on Amazon, but also at Minirig's website if you're in the UK or Europe. So that's the speakers. Tuck those away nicely there. Trying to assemble our gear here, so when we are finished we've got a nice little display. Let's move on. So this we've literally just written about on the website. It's a box by a company called blast.io, and this lets you go live on their website, just audio, whenever you want. It's not really part of my live streaming kit. It's something I'm going to be testing when I'm away, so just to let you know what that is. So you can read about that on our website at the moment, but also you can wait for me to review it, because I'll be testing it out over the next few weeks. Right, this is my light. So this is a really cool piece of kit. It's a Bowling, B-O-L-I-N-G, P1 Vlogger it's called, and it's a little very, very bright light. You can adjust the colour balance of the light, get the light more yellow, or look how that threw the camera out. It's a very, very bright light, and it's got a mount here that mounts onto like the equivalent of the flash mount on the top of the camera. So what I've got for that as well is this special little bracket. So this little bracket will take the light, and will also take, I'll show you the camera in a minute. So it basically gives me a really nice portable LED light, and it's not bright enough for like making much of a difference in daytime, for instance. But if you are DJing with brightness behind you, right? So like a bright scene, the cameras will tend to compensate and make you in shadows, and you can turn the exposure up a little bit, so you're not in shadow anymore, or you're not darkened anymore, but then behind gets bleached out. But if you have a light like this very close to you, it just adds a bit more and stops you being in silhouette. So that's the reason that I have a little light, and I use that all the time when I'm DJing, even in full daylight. And of course at night it can be the difference between the camera's picking up nothing and the camera's picking up what's going on. So I think a light is an important thing to have. Obviously we're very constrained from space here. Now I've got two tripods here. These are two Manfrotto tripods, which are a really nice brand, and they are a small one and a medium one basically. So this is because we haven't got one camera or two cameras, we've actually got three cameras. So these are for the secondary cameras. I'll show you the primary camera tripod in a minute, and I'll show you the cameras in a minute. So what I'll tend to do is put the bigger one of these with its feet extended on the DJ desk, and that will be pointing at my equipment. And the other one I'll just balance anywhere to give a really wide angle shot of what's going on. And then the main camera, which we're going to talk about in a minute, I'll have pretty close up in front on the decks and me. So talking to the main camera, this is the tripod I use for the main camera. This is the only bit of gear that I haven't spent a lot of time and money getting right. You know, this gear's taken me many years to assemble. But this is just a throwaway purchase. It is a cheap $30 tripod from a company called Tack Life. But there are literally dozens of these, and as far as I can tell, they're all exactly the same. They've all come from the same factory. They've all got different names. It's a cheap and cheerful tripod, but what I love about it is it weighs hardly anything. It extends, so this extends to full size, and it might be a bit flimsy, but look, this is a very lightweight bit of kit. This bag's got to be light, and it also folds up pretty small. And I've had it for over a year and used it on every live stream, and it's still going strong. You know, to get a carbon fibre professional tripod that's going to last you a lifetime, that's that light and small, costs you hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and I don't have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds to spend on that. So therefore that's a nice little compromise that I've made there, and long may it last. It's saving me money. Right, this is the microphone I use. It's a Shure SM58, an absolute classic microphone. The Shure SM58 is the one you would have seen in the hands of singers since God knows when, the 60s or whatever. It comes with its own XLR lead, which plugs directly into the DJ device. So I will use the microphone on the DJ controller, on the DJ system, just like any DJ would use the microphone, turning the music down, talking, turning it up again, and so on. So that's the microphone I use there. I thought about having a boom microphone or a lapel mic, but the thing with this is it's great quality. It's unidirectional, very unidirectional. So if you're talking to it close to your mouth like that, even if it's really loud around, you really can't hear very much else apart from your voice. And it's going to last forever. That is a microphone that's done the test, proven the test of time, shall we say. So that's the mic. Right, we've emptied the main compartment of the bag now. So I'm just going to head over to the comment cam, and really just to check that we're live. Hi people, oh we are live, look at all these comments, awesome. So hello to everyone who's watching, hello to Martin and Xcosa, Australia, Darren and Avinav, Dr. Karen, Technobeat, Mixmaster G and all our regulars. If you'd like to ask a question about any of this stuff, by the way, just hit hashtag ask, and I'll get to your questions afterwards. But I just wanted to say hello to a few people there, but now we'll get back to it. Now that I know we're live and it's all looking good, let's get back to unpacking the bag. Right, so what else have we got? Well, I said I'm a big fan of compartments, so let's move forward to the next compartment here, at the front of the bag. And the next compartment contains the control device. I'm using an iPad here, and the iPad ties into the cameras, and you're going to see the cameras in a minute. I'm saving the best till last here, and controls them all on a really neat little app. So that's what that is. It's simply an iPad in a case, of course. You've got to have cases for this stuff. Before I look at the boring leads in there, let's move in and look at the cameras. So the cameras that I'm using, and I have 3 of them, this is the bit that excites me the most, are called Mevo cameras. Now, some of you will have heard me talking about these before. I'm just going to get them all in a nice neat line there. Some of you will have heard me talking about these before. Some of you won't. They are very small little cameras. So you can see now they've got a screw thread. They screw onto the 3 tripods that I was talking to you about earlier. Very small little cameras with a nice neat little twist. These cameras can be controlled by the iPad, but they talk to the internet independently of the iPad. So these are going to be put onto the same Wi-Fi network that the iPad's on, connected via the router, and they're Wi-Fi themselves. So they talk to the iPad via Wi-Fi and to each other via Wi-Fi and to the router via Wi-Fi. So you basically set them up on the tripods, click the start button, they're all recognised on the iPad app, and you're good to go. It couldn't be easier to set up a multicam system. And then there's lots and lots of control over the cameras as well. Now, to get audio into the cameras, they've all got a little audio socket on the back, and you just plug a lead from your DJ controller into the back of one of the cameras, and there's a little mixer on the iPad app, and then you can get the balance right there as well. Of course, remember the microphone's coming through the same audio, so we're not worrying about a separate mic. They're really, really cool. And the multicam app has only just kind of been launched, so I'll be testing that over the next few weeks. I do have this little box here, which is just a tiny little Ethernet adapter for one of these. Now, they sent me this, so I thought I might as well use it. So this will plug via a hardwired Ethernet cable into the router and to one of the cameras. So you could wire all of the cameras up if you wanted. The router I've got is a little portable one. It's only got one Ethernet socket. So just to take a bit of the strain off the Wi-Fi, you can wire one of the cameras there. So that's something I'll be having a look at. So moving on through the bag, there is a lot more. Well, I said there's a lot more. We've probably done most of it here. Let me just check all the compartments to make sure there's nothing I'm missing. My glasses, you've got to have a pair of glasses with you if you're short-sighted like me, or whatever it is I am. I never remember. These are my kind of close-up glasses. I will switch my everything glasses, my driving glasses for, so I'm not straining to read comments off the iPad. Oh, also on the iPad, you can dual run the Mevo app and YouTube and just have them both on the screen, split screen at the same time. So in other words, I can be getting comments off YouTube at the same time that I'm controlling the cameras just by tapping on the app. It's really quite cool. Right, what else have we got? So the boring bits, we have pile of cables. This is literally all the cables that connect it all together. An Ethernet cable, so that I can connect that Ethernet I was just talking to you about. A USB-C to USB-C cable. Again, this goes from the back of the camera into the Ethernet adapter box. So those two will get me one of the cameras wired. This is just a big pile of USB-C charging cables to charge all the cameras. The Minirigs have got their own proprietary charging cables. The headphones charge with the USB-C as well. The light charges with the USB-C. And so this is to charge everything up. So I've got enough cables to plug in. And here I have my kind of secondary cables, smaller cables really. So we've got a USB-C to SD card adapter, and this is for getting music from the iPad into the Denon Prime Go, should I need to. This is a little headphones adapter and microphone adapter as well for the iPad. And I've got a couple of emergency RCA splitter cables here, just in case I need to get another feed out of the DJ controller for whatever reason, and never go anywhere without your 1/4-inch headphone adapter, right? You just never know where you're going to need it. I've been carrying it to every gig with me for 30 years. It's not going to stop soon. And I think, that's probably everything other than the main audio cables. And these are the cables that will connect together the audio straight into the cameras and also the audio into the speakers from the DJ controller. I've got various options there, so depending upon how I'm setting up, how many speakers I'm using, and what the kind of layout is, whether I'm using a little table or whether I've got kind of like a bit more of a DJ console kind of setup, I can wire it all in and get everything where I want it and get everything looking neat. And so I do believe we've emptied that bag. That I've just shown you is everything that you need, or that I need, to broadcast live on our Digital DJ Tips channels using battery and completely portable. So let's have one more look and one more quick talk through everything we've got here. And you'd think that with my knowledge and experience of doing this, I'd have worked out that the best way of showing you this stuff would be to have it all underneath the camera and not off at the side, wouldn't you? But no, that would be a little bit too clever even for me. We've got the iPad, which controls everything and its various connectors. We've got our audio cables here, which connect everything up. We've got our computer cables and charging cables here. We've got a microphone, Shure SM58, a cheapo tripod, a really good 2.1 speaker system, 3 Mevo cameras, a couple of smaller Manfrotto tripods, a really nice bowling, really bright LED light, an adapter which will put the light and one of the cameras on top of the tripod, a pair of headphones, and my glasses, and the charging cable for the final piece of the jigsaw, which also has to be battery powered, of course, and it is the little Prime Go controller from Denon DJ with a nice rock solid acrylic top, courtesy of our friends at DeckSaver. And with this, I'm able to practice, prepare, and go live for hours and hours and hours on end, as long as I've got a 4G signal and the router, which I haven't got with me, which is a simple little portable battery-powered 4G router. It's a good one. It's by Netgear. It's called a Nighthawk M1, and it lasts a long time, and it's got an Ethernet connector for putting that camera in, should I need to. Let's see how we get on, because on July the 12th, which I believe is this Sunday, I will be live. Don't know where from. And then 2 weeks after that, 2 weeks after that, and 2 weeks after that on Sundays. And if you want to join me, they will be at 5 p.m. London, which is midday Eastern, around then. Might be a bit earlier or later, depending on, well, who knows what it'll be depending on. Right, I've shown you what I wanted to show you. This is the final Tuesday Tips Live until September, because we're taking a break so we can go away and do all this summer type stuff. Thursday Q&A Live will be continuing. That will be hosted by me mainly, but also by Ben every now and then. So we will still have a presence, and of course we'll still have our Sunday live streams, but Tuesday, the studio stuff is going away, because I ain't going to be in the studio so much for the next couple of months. Right, questions. I'm here for you until we run out of things to talk about. So let's head over to the comment cam and talk about going live in a portable manner, people. So Martin says, I'm looking forward to this because I'm getting my bag ready as well. Cool. So Xcosa says, super keen for this video, trying to convince the misso to let me buy the Minirig 2.1. All I can say is, it sounds great, and if you can make it look really neat in your living room and then say, hey, it might be neat, but see what this sounds like, you might win a friend there. But good luck trying to get the approval for that one. Just hello to everyone joining us. Hi to Jerry in the greetings from the Rock of the Rock, Newfoundland, Canada. So we're on the Rock of Gibraltar. Damon says, what's the best camera for live streaming? Well, it just depends, Damon. There's all kinds of things. You know, I'm talking to you now on a Sony DSLR camera. These are all Sony cameras all around this studio. Whichever camera we look at, they're all Sony DSLR cameras. But that doesn't mean they're the best ones for live streaming, because that depends on what you need. You can live stream on a simple webcam. And that will be fine. Your best camera you've got is probably your phone, because the phone has got so much technology in to make your video look good. It beats any other camera unless you really know what you're doing with it. So it's a hard question to answer. Basically what you've got, try with what you've got, and then learn a bit about that and move on from there, I would say. So hi to Joey, and hi to Master DJ James, and to DJ Storm. Travis says, oh my God, I needed this video more than you know. I'm starting to throw bridge, warehouse, school, courtyard, parkland, forest shows, and I need to buy a power bank or some other generator alternative. I've mostly battery powered equipment, but if I could bring a small cheap power bank, I could add my monitor speakers, which are actually small PAs that boom. Or you could get sound box monitor speakers, which have got rechargeable batteries. So that's another thing to look at. And also plug in the electric lighting. Oh, you can get away without electric lighting, right? You can get battery lighting. I don't know about power boxes. It's not something, or power banks or generators. It's not something I've looked into, and maybe we will at some point. But if anyone can help Travis on that, Travis is on Facebook. So have a chat over there in the Facebook comments. So thank you to Mike for helping out. Mike says the Logitech Brio is a decent camera if you don't want to spend over $1,000. Yeah, the SLRs. Mind you, the SLR I'm talking to you on now is a Sony A6000. It's an old Sony A6000. And to be honest, the quality is perfect, and you can get those for a far under $1,000. So that could be something that you want to look into. James, thank you, Luis. James says, what's the make of the bag? I knew someone would ask that again. And it is written on it. So if you just give me 2 seconds, I'll try and find the label. There is a very discreet label somewhere. It's what I like about it, actually. It's a nice discreet bag, but it's so damn discreet that I can't currently find it. So it's called Lane 8 or Gate 8. Gate 8, I think. No, it's totally escaping me. Oh, there we go. Gate 8. I was right. GATE and the number 8 is the name of the bag, and it's their smallest kind of pilot's type bag. But I do like that bag. Facebook user says, is there a PDF list for this? No, there isn't. There should be, really, shouldn't there? But no, you're going to have to watch the replay to catch some of this stuff. Dr. Karen didn't catch the name of your headphones. They are the Sony, I think they're called the WM1000 Mark IV. They're certainly the Sony 1000 Mark IV. So you can certainly find MD 1000. Thank you, Jerry. Oh no, Jerry's just saying, I think that's what Phil said. God, it's blind leading the blind, isn't it? Something like that anyway. What, says Mo, are other battery operated controllers? There aren't any. The best you're going to get is a controller that doesn't need any power at all, because it plugs into your laptop and takes the power from there. And there are controllers that plug into the iPad, for instance, and take their power from there. The little Reloop Buddy, for instance. This little one here. So this one, if I grab that iPad, I'll show you. If I take the iPad out of its case, the way this works is, it's a great little portable setup this, by the way. The way this works is you get your iPad and you slide it in there like that, you see? And then you've got a way of DJing straight from this whole unit. And that doesn't need power because that's taking its power from the iPad. So, you know, a lot of DJ controllers, especially the smaller ones, don't need external power. However, all that said, the only thing I can think of that has actually got a battery built in is the one we were just looking at there, the Denon Prime Go. It's a pretty unique controller. People don't like the Prime Go, they love it, or they don't get it, one or the other. I'm certainly someone who loves it. Lots of you asking for links to the products. We probably won't, but what I might do is write this up. If enough of you give me likes and loves and thumbs up now, so I can see it's something that would be useful, I might write the whole thing up on the website and then put links to all the gear in there. So let me know if that would be useful to you, and we'll do it that way. Do you focus one camera on your mixer? I've not noticed many DJs don't. Yes, exactly. So the way I use the 3 cameras is I'll have one camera which is kind of the equivalent of this view here, right? It's going to be in front, and it's going to have, like, you'll be able to see the DJ gear. So imagine the controller, the camera will be set up so the controller is kind of visible like this, right? And I'm DJing, but I'm obviously stood there. So that's the first view. And then I have a view where I have, because I haven't got an overhead camera, I have one of those tripods just to the side of the DJ gear looking down, so you get this kind of like full screen view of the controller with one side of the controller huge and one side going off into the distance. And then the third camera, I have a long way away. So the idea with the third camera is it can see the first camera on the tripod and me, and I'm quite small, but you get a whole panorama of what we're looking at, where we are. So it just gives a much more scene setting shot than the one that's close on to me. And between those, you know, the one that's close on me, I can talk and you can see me. The one that's on the decks, I can switch to if I'm doing a mix or whatever. And the one that's far away, I can just use to set context, or if I have to nip off to the, you know, the little boys' room or something, at least that view has got something else going on rather than just a set of empty decks, right? So that's the way I set the cameras up anyway. As I say, we're learning all the time. Things change all the time. Might be doing it differently soon. Richard says Sennheiser HD25s are my go-to. Yeah, they're an absolutely classic headphone. We might even review those one of these days. How long does a stream last with this setup? Great question, and it lasts as long as the weakest battery. The weakest battery in the setup is probably the light. Probably only lasts about 90 minutes on full, but then if the light goes, who cares? It's not the end of the world, is it? The speakers last up to 100 hours. You won't get 100 hours out of them at a decent volume, but you know, that's plenty, so it's not going to be the speakers. Headphones, no worries there, the batteries aren't turned on. The cameras last about 6 hours, but the thing that's going to stop you with this setup is the Denon Prime Go, and you can get about 3 hours out of a fully charged Prime Go, which is pretty good. So I'd say up to about 2.5, 3 hours. My live stream is about an hour and a quarter or something like that. So thanks for the question there, Chroma Cat Live. Mike says, on my streams, I use a DDJ 400, which is USB power. We were just talking about that, weren't we? So it's powered off the laptop battery. And I've been streaming outside here in New York City for 48 consecutive weeks as of last night. Well, firstly, congratulations to you. Cool, thanks for sharing. Richard, an angled laptop cooling pad also angles the Prime Go perfectly. You know, I've tried angling the Prime Go. I've had little laptop stands that lift it up and stuff. I don't mind it flat, but yeah, I did try that. So this is a nice long comment. Oh, Mr. Stewart Physics says, what app are you using on the iPad? It's the app that comes with the Mevo cameras. It's called a Mevo multicam app. And that's the switcher app I'm using on the iPad. So Alf is on vacation in a very chill Rio. It's nice to have the Prime Go to play with. It's been in my possession since August. So much fun with the quality of sound and hardware. My next purchase will be a Minirig system. If I can find out the real cost of buying them in the EU, yeah, it's difficult right now. My advice to all UK companies is to set up branches in the EU or you will lose big income. Brexit is so dumb for British companies. I'm not going to get political, but certainly from the operational point of view, Brexit is dumb for everyone. And we'll just leave it at that. Does the app allow more than 3 cameras? Don't think so. I don't think so. What about a really long extension cord in case there's an outlet nearby? Well, yeah, I have a long extension cord with us, but it's kind of like more a general piece of kit. So it's not in that bag there. I always make sure that bag is fully charged, so I can DJ for 3 hours, whatever, with that bag. But yeah, very good point. Apparently, Craig didn't realise there was a stream today and says, I'm a bit late, but I will watch back later after work. Oh, Craig, we do miss you. Matteo says, are these fairly new products? The Minirigs aren't. Minirigs have been out for ages. The cameras aren't, but the three camera app is. The ability to use 3 together is. The iPad Pro is very new. I think you need a powerful iPad to do this stuff. I just like to have the most powerful computer at the heart of it, even if it is just an iPad. And the Prime Go is about 1.5 years old now. But yeah, so they're all reasonably new. Phil, you just sold me on a DeckSaver cover. I've been trying to find one that fits my Mix-On 4. I'm pretty sure DeckSaver has got one that fits the Mix-On 4. Look, I cannot say enough good things about DeckSaver. We've got them on a lot of our equipment. I'm going to bring the cover over to the comment cam and show it you close up. They're really well molded to fit the gear. They're by this company called DeckSaver. You can buy them in the US. I think Mixware distribute them, but they are absolutely, they are rock solid. I've seen videos where people stamping on them and stuff. They're just not going to break, and they are so good because, you know, I've been handling hundreds and hundreds of pieces of DJ gear over the last 11, 12 years. And the number of times we're being really careful and we bend a crossfader because it just hits the door on the way into somewhere and stuff. Getting one of those is the best thing you can do for your DJ gear, and they make them for nearly everything. I've got one on the way for this because we're going to try and set up a mini DJ system using these little controllers. So, you know, even little controllers like that they do, and they do all the way up to the big stuff. You know, I don't have any affiliation with DeckSaver. I just think they're a great company. You know, we don't have affiliations with any companies. We don't need to. We're paid for by our students. We don't have any financial arrangements with anyone. So when we recommend stuff to you, like for instance, I was recommending the Minirig speakers there, it's because we genuinely use and believe in them ourselves. And there's not many people can say that who actually mean it. We don't survive on companies paying us to say nice things about their products. In fact, we used to have advertising on the website. Who remembers the advertising on the website? Because when we started off, we were a website, a magazine. We were a blog about DJing. And we were paid for by our advertisers. And then we started selling DJ courses. And then we started thinking, nah, we don't want this compromise between telling our students how it is and being paid by the industry. So we stopped all advertising. Some of you will have noticed that there is absolutely no advertising anywhere on Digital DJ Tips apart from our own products. So we are paid for by you guys. It allows us to be completely impartial. Right, so don't you carry a power supply just in case? No, just charge the stuff up when I can. Dan says use a solar powered power bank for the mini rigs and they'll just go on forever. Yeah, it's a good idea. Maybe a nice little solar panel to add in there that'll fit on the top of all the gear would be a nice idea. So just to reinforce, the video switcher we use is called Multicam Mevo, or Mevo Multicam, and it works specifically with those Mevo cameras. And it's Wi-Fi multi-switching with an audio mixer as well and overlays and stuff. It's really, really nice software. People spamming the page, you will be banned even by the time I read your comments. Go and get yourselves a life. Any thoughts on a leisure or car battery and an inverter for outdoor power? I've never tried it. You know, the van we use to move around in has got an inverter built into it, and I'm sure that would work, but you know, you can only get, on ours, you can only get 300 watts out of it. I'm not sure if that'd be enough for all that gear. Probably would, you know. It's not like it's a hairdryer or anything. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be about watts, definitely. So Mixmaster G is giving another thumbs up for DeckSaver there, as is someone over on our Facebook page, as is someone on, as is the DJ D4. So deck savers are definitely a deck saver. And Craig says, I just got a deck saver for my DDJ 800 as I was fed up of dusting the gear. It looks good and protection for the gear at the same time. Actually, it's true. They're good just to protect your gear at home so you don't have to dust it all the time. Joey's asking a question about a microphone. I've no idea. I don't know that microphone, Joey, but it will tell you very clearly if it needs phantom power if you just Google it. Mark, I was actually looking on UK Amazon last night, and there are batteries on there for about 250, but then the next one up to 500. Yeah, I think you guys, if you can, one place to go and chat afterwards about this is in the Facebook comments, because they stay there afterwards. So maybe switch to Facebook and then you can help each other out there. So apparently the guy who rides around on his bike DJing, and by the way, I won't be doing that, uses a Hyundai battery inverted unit. So thank you for that, David. Right, we're done here today, folks. Today we've been talking about all the gear that I'm going to be taking with me to do our Balcony Beats live streams from the road. We're going to be on the road with all this gear over the next four live streams. You'll see me using it. Join me on Sundays. I'm actually live this Sunday at about 20 minutes from now. Look at your watch now, 20 minutes from now. If it all goes according to plan, because there's nothing to say it will. And I don't know where we'll be, but we ain't going to be in the studio and we ain't going to be at my home. So you'll see the gear in action on Sunday at that point. So come and join me then. This is the final Tuesday Tips Live. So all I'm going to ask you is, if you've enjoyed the Tuesday Tips Live for this series, do us a favour, don't only subscribe to the page or to the channel if you're on YouTube, but click the share button. The share button helps us to do this stuff. If you want to learn more about how to live stream, then go to djtips.co/livestreaming, djtips.co/livestreaming, and that is where you'll find out about our course on live streaming. We have a full course that teaches you to do it on everything from your phone to a full studio like the one I'm sat in now, and everything in between, including the kind of gear we've just been looking at there. So if you want to learn more about it, djtips.co/livestream. And finally, if you want to join us and get a copy of the book that I've been holding up all through this season of Tuesday Tips Live broadcasts, just go there, djtips.co/join. Become our latest member. It's free, and I'd like to give you a copy of this book to say thank you for joining up, for being our latest member. And we're pretty much done here today. Craig says, I love that you're taking the Minirigs with you. I'll be getting one soon. I look forward to seeing you using it over the summer. And a few of you just saying thanks for the work this year on Tuesday Tips Live. Thank you for that, Techno Beat, and everyone else who's saying kind words. Don't worry, Tuesday Tips Live is not disappearing. We will be back in the autumn. We'll be back in the fall. We're just taking our summer break and gives us time to do other things and head out into the wide world and have some experiences and come back and be fresh and ready for another 10-month run of Tuesday Tips Live broadcast in this slot. Thursday Q&A Live will be continuing. Wherever I am in the world, I will be bringing you Thursday Q&A Live, even if I'm just doing it on a wobbly phone like this. I will answer your questions for an hour on a Thursday because I couldn't dream of not doing that. And of course, the Sunday live streamings are continuing. So that's it from here today. I will write this up on the website because a lot of you have said that you want me to do that. So I'm going to make a note now. Write up 2021 DJ kit, and we will put it on my desk for tomorrow, and we will make sure we put links to all the stuff as well if you want to buy it, as much as we can anyway, without spending the next 2 weeks doing it, because hey, we ain't got the time, but I'll do my best to make that as useful as I can for you. Right, people, we are done. Yes, and thank you to Ahita Atihagni, I keep trying to get your name right, I will do. So he says, thank you for the people behind the scenes. It isn't just me, so I'd like to thank Lauren and Scott and Ben and Faye and Juanmi and Steve and the rest of our team, both full-time and part-time, who help to make all these things possible. Like I say, we'll see you again in September for more Tuesday Tips Live, but do join me on Thursdays and Sundays throughout the summer, and Steve and Ben as well, who will be helping out with the DJ slots. Right, out of here, people. Get good, get out there this summer, make the moments, and I'll see you again on Tuesday Tips Live, bright and breezy in September, first Tuesday of the month. Till then, have a great one.